Yes, this is Peter Christian Hessing here, and thank you again for joining me again to have another important discussion on making the world a better place and having peace, stopping all the religion wars, and in the world, conventional warfare and nuclear war. Um, as I've been saying that it is not impossible for us to somehow free the world from nuclear destruction. We have to do it. It's something that we have to do. As you see what's happening now with Ukraine, where Russia is actually threatening to use nuclear weapons. So we definitely have to do that. I'm an inventor. I've invented a lot of different inventions. I've had a U.S. patent. I've worked on a lot of inventions. Now with technology now, as I say, we can basically invent nearly anything to do anything. We can end poverty, have health care for everybody there, and also definitely have education for everyone. And we now have to deal with preventing conventional and nuclear war. We can do that. There is so much technology now that you can put into weapons. The problem is that we have these terrorists out there, as we can see with ISIS, and they have American weapons, and that's a problem. We have to know how our weapons manufacturers build weapons and guns that have technology that we can prevent these weapons from going into the hands of these terrorists. You know, there's so much. You can put radios. There is beepers. There is phones. There is GPS. There's all kinds of technology that you can have it encrypted, and you can monitor guns and weapons to make sure that they don't go into the hands of these terrorists and in the hands of people, of criminals or drug cartels or gangs that have drive-by shootings and kill innocent people. We have technology and computers now. We can control every gun, every bullet in the world. And I've invented a lot of designs and inventions, and I see, and everybody can see that these inventions can work. We have to build a system where we can control every gun and every bullet in the world and make sure that you don't kill innocent people. People have the right to defend themselves. And when they need that, we have to let them be able to defend themselves. But we definitely have to have a system where we can monitor and control every gun, every bullet, every kind of weapon in the world, and make sure those weapons are used, they are used to save lives and not used by terrorists and drug dealers and cartels to kill thousands of people. So the Democrats and the Republicans definitely have to compromise on the issue of weapons control. Nobody wants to stop Americans from bearing weapons. You do need self-defense. You could be walking within a rural area, get attacked by a snake or a lion or a tiger. I mean, people do need to defend themselves. But we need to have our manufacturers build safer weapons that we can control, keep out of the hands of terrorists. We can't have these terrorists using American weapons to start wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan and Nigeria and Africa and in drug cartels down in Mexico and so forth and kill innocent people. We have to have use our technology to monitor weapons, monitor ammunition, and make sure that you don't have terrorism. The only way that you're going to prevent terrorism is to let these terrorists realize that we have to cut off the weapons and ammunition supply to the terrorists. And the Republicans in America here has to compromise. We can't be letting them get American weapons and start terrorism and start killing Americans and killing our allies abroad. It's very sad that all these terrorist groups they are finding out now have billions of dollars worth of American weapons. And that's very sad. And we also have to get together with the Russians, and the Chinese also. A lot of the people in the civil war in Syria, they have Russian weapons. So we have technology now that we can do that. And when back to nuclear war, I would say we need to have a 24/7 inspection system, a round-the-clock inspection system by the Atomic Agency. So this is something here that I drew up here, and I got a clock here. We need to have a 24/7 round-the-clock nuclear inspection by the International Atomic Agency of all the weapons in the world to prevent a first strike. And a lot of people will say, Peter, that's impossible. The Russians are not going to agree to it. And if you think that we have 4,000 nuclear weapons in the world operational, we need at least 4,000 inspectors. And if we go like 3 shifts a day, you're going to need like about 12,000 inspectors. But you can also are going to have an electronic system that all of our scientists and our smart technicians out there and computer people can put together. And a lot of people says to me, Peter, the Russians are never going to agree to it. But what happens in politics once something becomes popular? I think in this very presidential election coming up here in America, where we are choosing a new president here in America, we have Hillary Clinton on the Democrat side, and we have all these other people on the Republican side. There's Jeb Bush, and there's Mr. Christie, and Cruz, and Senator Paul, and so forth, and Pataki. All these candidates are going to have to deal with this issue, and I think it's going to become very popular whether these presidential candidates are going to support a round-the-clock inspection system that will protect the world from nuclear destruction. And I think in this very election that is coming up here next year, 2016, and going into 2007, as the Americans vote to elect a new president, that is going to be an issue as whether they're going to support a round-the-clock system to prevent the world from nuclear destruction, 24/7 inspection system by the International Atomic Agency to prevent the world from nuclear destruction. Also, if they're going to support a world court to deal with preventing nuclear destruction and chemical and biological mass destruction. So it's going to be a very popular issue in this election. And as I say, it's not a unilateral inspection. It's a multilateral inspection of America, Russia, and all the other countries. And it is not weakening America or Russia or Britain or France or India or Pakistan or North Korea. These countries still have control of their weapons. You're not giving up control of the protection of America or Russia or any country to the international agency. You're just allowing the international agency to inspect these weapons on a 24/7 basis to allow that you don't have a nuclear war by miscalculation, mistake, stress, and anger. Nobody's giving up control of the nuclear weapons. So I think it's a peaceful alternative, and it's something that we should all support. I was saying years ago that we had invented and applied for a patent on a type of expanding missile that was able to retarget, or you could say boomerang nuclear missiles back to where they were sent, and it's a very feasible idea. We applied for a patent on it. I invented it. We also got a copyright on it. But there's a lot of technology out there that we can use, and this is a very good principle, because what this system was doing is that it was being able to send back these nuclear missiles to wherever they were launched. So if Russia launched nuclear missiles, this type of system was able to send these nuclear missiles, back to Russia. So it's a very strong idea. I invented it. and we applied for a patent on it. We got a copyright on it. The patent is we're still trying to get the patent approved. So there's a lot of technology out there that can be used to prevent nuclear war. I think we have to deal with it. I think it's going to be a very popular issue in this presidential campaign. And once it becomes popular, once the people of the world demand that the superpowers prevent nuclear war, that they have a 24/7 system that protects us from nuclear destruction and nuclear war, Russia and China, India and Pakistan, North Korea, they will all have to agree for it. If the peoples of the world demand a round-the-clock system to protect them from nuclear war, Russia and America and all these countries will have to agree to it. You see, we have to see the right to be free from nuclear destruction as a human right. It's a human right, just like the right to have religion, or the right to govern yourselves, or the right to have democracy, or the right to freedom of speech. Peoples of the world have a right to be free from nuclear destruction. God made us here, and He made us here to live freely in a paradise. So we have to start having laws that say the right to be free from nuclear destruction is a human right. And the people of the world have a right to do that, to be free from nuclear war and nuclear destruction. Once the peoples of the world begin to demand that, once they begin to demand that, then all the countries of the world have to agree to it. All the superpowers. I don't think that President Vladimir Putin of Russia is crazy. I mean, he has done a lot of things which are wrong, taking over the Crimea and supporting wars and so forth. They're trying to take control of his countries. I don't think that he is crazy. I think that he can be made to see that a nuclear war is going to destroy Russia and America. It can be destroyed, and I think that Putin will have to agree to a system, a peaceful system of preventing nuclear war. And I think this 24/7 system is a system that will prevent the first strike. And I think Putin will have to agree to it. Once it becomes popular around the world politically, and it is supported by the United Nations and the International Atomic Agency and the peoples of the world, Putin, all these countries are going to have to agree to it. So we might have a 24/7 nuclear inspection treaty that all the countries could agree to. Or if they don't want to have a 24/7 treaty, inspection treaty in the United Nations, you can still have this system set up by the United Nations and the Atomic Agency, having all the countries agreeing. They do already have an agreed inspection protocol there. And if you can inspect Iran to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, why is it that you can't inspect Russia, which has probably 5,000 nuclear weapons that can really destroy the world? But what I'm getting at is that this 24/7 inspection system has to become a standard that all countries agree to if you're going to have nuclear weapons. Let's bring all the peoples of the world together, Christians, Muslims, and Jews together, and have peace. I have studied the Bible and the Quran, and in the Quran supports the Christians and the Jews, and it says that really all the people should have peace, and they should not be killing each other. So give your heart and life to Jesus. Thank you, Peter Christian. God bless, and join me again. Thank you.